first phone that he invested in, which was a bag phone from US Cellular. This phone, among other things, allows you to call from your car. And when I was asking him about technology and his experience with it, he reminisced about calling his mom as soon as he got this phone and asked her, like, guess where I am? And she was so shocked to hear that he was in the car. And seeing as most of us in this room are digital natives, it's kind of hard to believe that getting a phone call from the car is so weird, but back then it really was strange. To help me better understand if technology has helped our society or hindered it, I interviewed my father and my grandfather. And despite some of the difficulties, like patience levels being lowered, there's still constant communication and information is readily available to us. So they both agreed that technology has helped our society. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is constant communication. My dad works at Abbey, and he has worked there for about 30 years, and he is the manager of the kitchen. He is also the head caterer for our store. So he has to build up a lot of relationships with his customers, and he's done that since the whole time that he's worked there. And oftentimes he's taking 2 or 3 calls each night from some customer to help them, and he would not be able to do that without cell phones. So before cell phones, he would not have been able to continue his job outside of his scheduled work hours. So on one hand, it's nice that he can do this and build up his relationships with his customers, but on the other hand, he spends a lot of his unpaid and unscheduled time working. And the next thing I'm going to talk about is the information that is readily available to us. My dad loves that you can just pick up a computer and look up anything you want and find the answer right away. The nice thing is if I got stuck on the side of the road because I had a problem with a tire or something, with a smartphone I would be able to look up how to do it or call someone to come help me. But if I did not have a signal or I was out of data, I wouldn't be able to do that, and I would never know how to help myself because I never actually learned how to change a tire. I always just get the immediate information. But with older generations, like my dad said, he would have to go to resources and actually find the answer and actually learn how to do it. And he says that doing it that way helps you learn much better and actually learn the skill. But there are things that my dad also doesn't know, I'm constantly getting calls from him about how to use the TV or some other technology. So it goes both ways for both generations. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is patience levels. I know that when I get on my computer, if my Wi-Fi isn't working right away, I get really frustrated, and I will only try a couple times to get it to work, and if it does not, I'm just done, and I won't deal with it. I'll get really frustrated and move on. But if my dad gets on the computer and his Wi-Fi isn't working, he'll just keep trying or wait a little bit later, and he doesn't get frustrated at all, and he's fine. So that's a couple different things between the generations. And then in conclusion, despite the patience levels going down, we have constant communication and info at our fingertips. So it seems that people generally agree that technology has helped our society. And yeah, technology is good.